Before we begin, it's important that I remind you that you must never listen to this track. If you've ever experienced any psychiatric disorders, you must check with your doctor first, and you must never listen to this track whilst operating any machinery. If you need to come out of this trance for any reason, you may do this safely at any time by simply counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and wide awake. In trance, you are always in control. Now lie back and relax, keeping your eyes open. Have you ever been in a trance before? Right now? And did you experience that state as being similar to the waking state, or different from the waking state? Can you find a spot on the wall that you would like to look at comfortably? And as you continue comfortably looking at that spot for a while, do your eyelids want to blink? And will those lids begin to blink one at a time, twice, or 3 times before they close altogether? Rapidly or more slowly? Or will they just close now? Or will they flutter all by themselves first before they close? Will the eyes close more and more as you get more and more relaxed? That's right. And can those eyes just stay closed as your comfort, able to go deeper, just like when you go to sleep? And can your comfort go more and more deeply inside, so that you'd rather not even try to open your eyes? Or would you rather really try in vain and find you cannot? And just when will you soon forget about them altogether because your unconscious wants you to dream? And now I want you to breathe deeply. And with every breath you take, you may find a sense of the deepening relaxation that allows for your trance, this deep trance, to occur more and more, deeply and deeper and deeper. Just like a petal on a tree, falling down, 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 swaying in the breeze and flowing to and fro as you watch it fall and fall and fall, going deeper and deeper and deeper as you relax, relax, relax. And now I want you to imagine that you are in a lift, and that as you stand in this lift, the doors come to a close, and you press the buttons to go down to the basement. And as the lift begins to work, you know that you are going lower and lower and lower inside this tall building until you are at the very depths in the deepest parts. Starting at level 10, level 9, going deeper to level 8, level 7, level 6, down to level 5 and 4 and 3. And deeper to level 2. And to level 1. At the very deepest level that you have ever been before. And now you are at the very deepest part of trance, and your mind will accept unconsciously, whilst you forget consciously, all that I am saying and that you are hearing right now, as my voice goes with you. And you will, because you do, accept on the deepest level all that I will suggest to your unconscious mind that is in your very best interests. Years ago, I was trained by an expert in language who told me a story about a client she had once encountered. A woman obsessed by her own story. She would tell her story over and over, taking particular interest and care to relay the dark, miserable, unfair parts of her latest chapter, and how they related to the chapters of her storybook of her life that had come before, that they were all linked, they were all heavy, and they weighed her down. This was no ordinary-looking woman. This woman had it all, if she chose to see it. She was attractive, with good looks, charm, and charisma. She held an enormous amount of talent that was left unfulfilled, and it frustrated her, and led her back to her story. The story where she focused only on the negative parts, where she deleted, edited or distorted to fit her story's purpose so that her listeners would feel sorry for her and be drawn into her story. The effect was that her story was dull, uninspired, her energy was off, something was lacking. This woman full of talent, capable and potential, pushed people away because of her story. It was full of woe and blame and resentment. She felt trapped in this storybook of her own life. In fact, she would often imagine to herself that she was holding her memoir in her hand, flicking backwards, ever backwards, to find the most gory, rotten and soulless parts of the tale. Those pages were thumbed at the edges, smudged and a little torn, so much attention and rereading and reliving they had received. When she examined the pages, there were parts that were highlighted in bold neon colours, and these were the parts of her story she relished telling the most. At any given opportunity, she would go on script and quote the drama of her life and how terrible and unjust it was. The fisherman was tired as he looked out at the vast, magnificent lake. He had sat here for days, hardly ever catching a fish. This was where he had always sat, this bank, with the very best fishing equipment he could possibly afford. He had given it his everything, done things the right way. He'd gone by the book, the fishing manual. He'd invested in the most expensive rod, bought the juiciest maggots, the strongest line. He'd done it in the way exactly as he'd been taught, and he sat it out no matter the weather. His dad had done it this way, so had his grandfather. His wife made his sandwiches, cheese and pickle with a tomato on the side, the way his mother had, and his grandmother before that. The simple traditions that make up the ritual and tapestry of the fisherman's life. One early morning, as he set up his tent shelter and his special stall, he noticed a young, energetic lad with just a net a few meters away from him. The boy made noise as he bustled about, splashing the water. His equipment was inferior. He hadn't the right tools. How on earth did he expect he would catch a fish? He did not know the ritual, did not know the right way. He had not been taught. Deeply irritated and disturbed, the fisherman decided to confront the lad. And at that moment, as he reached the boy's side, a fish was scooped out of the water in the net, and it was magnificent. You are now at the very deepest level of trance, deeper than you have ever been before. And I'm going to present some messages to your subconscious mind that are extremely compelling, that you will remember unconsciously and choose to put into action, and that you will forget consciously, as my words go deeper and deeper into the integral part of you that your subconscious mind rules and understands. When you look back over your past, you are able to see the important learnings quickly and easily. You are able to release all of the emotions connected with your journey that do not serve you, and take the observations and learnings with you into your everyday life. The memories will remain, but you release the anger, the hurt, and the resentment. When you look back, you see the significant moments of growth and change, and opportunities for new knowledge. You focus on your learnings and how they empower you to go forward in the direction you now choose. You are in the driving seat of your life, and looking back serves you only to help you go forward in the direction you choose to go in. You find that it's easy to integrate these new learnings at the deepest part of your mind and body, right now. My voice will go quiet for a few moments while you integrate this new learning at the deepest part of yourself. As the boy whooped and hollered his joy at netting a prime catch, the fisherman was even more angry. He had not caught a bite in weeks. He was the fisherman. This boy had no skill, no talent, no right. The lad was surprised to see this angry, bitter man on the side of the lake. He asked him if he was okay. And no, he was not. It was not right to come along and disrupt people's routines, to do something for fun without understanding the ritual. As the man explained, he was a fisherman and he had come every day for years. The boy was genuinely surprised. You have become caught in your habits, sitting in the same place day in, day out. The ritual is keeping you stuck. Your habits keep you stuck. You're not even seeing the lake. If you were to have your eyes open, you would see that if you stood on that hill over there, you could look down and see the whole lake. And on a clear day, when the sun shines, you can see where the schools of fish swim, where they go with the flow of the water. You've been too close all along. The right path is there when you choose to see it. Stand on the hill and see for yourself. The lake looks different when seen from afar. You can learn so much more from looking from a distance than being trapped in whatever you have always done. And still feeling angry, the fisherman climbed. And when he got to the top of the hill, he saw clearly the whole lake. He had been so caught up in being a fisherman, in the whys and hows of getting it right, of proving he knew how to do it already. He had not seen the lie of the land. He had not really seen the lake. Up here, it was like looking at a map. That in his future fishing days, he could see where the richness was, easily and simply, using that painful lesson from the recent past to create a greater harvest of fish. That night, when he returned his empty lunchbox from his cheese and pickle sandwiches to his wife, they dined well fed, with chips to accompany the fine dish of freshly caught fish. I asked my trainer, how did you show her the other parts of the book? The story, the bits not reread? And he told me it was simple. He made her look at the whole book, acknowledge the highs, the lows. He made her look at the front cover of this book she held in her hands containing her own story. And for the first time, she saw the author's name on the front and on the spine. This woman had written her own story. And inside, on that front page, she could see that she had also been the editor. She had edited this book of her life for effect, for drama. She had taken out the moments of achievement, of happiness and pride, of ease and flow. She had kept in the danger, the disappointments, the unhappiness. When she realized she had written and edited the story herself, she knew that she could re-edit it too. She could focus on the parts that she could learn from. She could see the moments of growth. And she could understand that the story was not yet fully written. For in front of her was also a magnificent old typewriter, ready to be dusted off and put to use. With the newly unedited version of a story of growth, potential and freedom, she set this new story into the world. And when she next went to tell her story, she found herself to be the creator of it, and not just the troubled heroine, trapped. Instead, she was the creator of the next chapters, which could be full of adventure and playfulness, and no longer drama and woe. And now, I'm going to take you up from level 1, right up to level 10. And when we reach level 10, you will be wide awake and having integrated all of this new learning about protecting your own energy at the deepest part of yourself. Level 1. Going up to level 2, to level 3, up to level 4, to level 5, becoming more aware of yourself, to level 6, returning to the body, to level 7, becoming aware of my voice, level 8, becoming aware of what's underneath you, and to level 9, and when all the work is complete at an unconscious level, up to level 10 and wide awake, back in the room and wide awake.